In this video, I'm going to show you how to master chord changes. Alright, so there's two steps, two main things that are happening anytime you change between chords. Let's say our first chord is C and our second chord is E minor. The first chord, our fingers are set up one way, and by the time we get to this other chord, our fingers have to be set up a totally different way. And so what we have are two steps. One is the change, what I call the transformation. It's when you go from this C and you have to transform your hand into the next chord. The second step is what I call the grab. So once your hand's in the shape that it needs to be for the new chord, then you have to grab that chord all at once. And the key is you don't want to have to reposition. You want it to just be a simple grab where you don't have to move your fingers around twice or three times or four times, like shift them up and down and back and forth trying to get them in the right spot. You want this to be one quick thing that happens to land on that chord. So we can practice both those two steps to get better at our transformations or better at our changes. So let me show you what this looks like on the guitar. So let's look at a really easy chord change just so you can see the concepts that we just talked about, you know, without having it like some complicated stretchy chord way out here. So it's going to be an E major chord to an A sus2 chord. Okay, so I'm going to move around between a few chords first of all. So you can see the way, see how my fingers are just like always, they're going through those two steps that we talked about. First of all, they got to transform and change into the next shape that they're going to be going to. And then that second step is that they have to drop in and grab all at once. So you can see that grab really happening. So if we practice this, right, if we go from E to A sus2, the reason why it's a good change to work on is because you can leave your first finger down for stability just to work on these two steps. One of the biggest challenges we have on guitar is just keeping our hands stable because there's nothing really holding it up other than our thumb when we're trying to change between these two different chords if we didn't have another finger down on the fretboard. So it's like a little crutch. It helps you, you know, if you feel like you're going to wobble and fall off the guitar, you can basically just leave that finger down and then jump between the two chords a little easier. So what we'd want to do is we'd want to practice, first of all, transforming. So to do that, you practice slow. I would give yourself 6 seconds to transition between the two chords. Now in this shape, we don't really have to change much about what's going on, so it's an easy one to practice on. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our fingers are already in the shape that they got to be in to play this chord, to play the next chord. So, you know, we could leave them in that same shape and then we just drop them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what we want to practice is the grab. And to practice the grab, what you do is you wait. Think of this like you're a cheetah or you're a lion, and you're waiting to hunt down your prey. So you're like watching them, stalking them. See, my fingers are kind of stalking where they have to go. So I'm going to let them hang out, waiting. And then when it's time, boom, grab it. Get the prey. Don't let them get away. Wait, grab. Wait, grab. So that's how you practice the grabs. You got the transform, right? Slow 6 seconds. And, you know, go slower than what I just did right there. 6 seconds, and then do your grab. Practice those as two separate steps, and you'll find that your chord changes get a lot better. Now, let me show you one more quick example with a chord change where we actually have to change the way the whole shape looks. So if we go from G to D, your fingers have to totally transform. It's not like this where we're just going from one to the next. You know, with this chord, we actually have to move them through, boom, all those different phases, right? So that's a type of chord progression or chord change where you'll have to take your time a little bit, you know, and you're gonna feel really uncomfortable at first, to be honest. Like, these fingers are gonna feel weird trying to control them in midair like that. So if you have a hard time controlling them, put another finger on the fretboard for that crutch that we were talking about before. So if I want to help to control the fingers, I could put my pinky down. Sometimes it's hard for people, but you can put it down anyhow, and then try your best to control the fingers like that. Try it again. I'll put it down as a crutch. Or if the pinky's hard, just work on 2 fingers at a time. So I could leave down, for instance, my 3rd finger. That would be the easiest one. It's like a little leg right there, a little crutch. And then take these fingers, move them around, and try to get them to transform. You know, slow transformation, 6 seconds. And then bring them down. So you can practice it that way by breaking the chord up. But at the end of the day, these 2 steps, transform and grab, practice those as 2 separate things. I would recommend spending about 1 to 2 minutes practicing each step all by itself. If you can't stand it for 2 minutes, just do a minute. Just break them up and make them separate, and it'll help your chord changes.